Okay guys, today we are going to go over a couple problems from the review, even though there are only a couple problems on the review. Number 35 gives us angle B, angle C, and side A. And we have to decide whether we want to use the law of sines or law of cosines. If you look at your formulas for law of cosines, we're not given enough information to use law of cosines here. So we have to use law of sines. And we would set up, to use law of sines, we would need to find angle A. In order for us to do that, we can subtract 180 and 35 from 180, which would give us 65 degrees for the measure of angle A. We need to know A because in order to use law of sines, we need to know at least a side and the angle opposite that side. So we would set this up as sine of A, which is 65 degrees divided by side A, which is 10. And since we're looking for side C, we're going to use the sine of 35 degrees over C. Next thing we're going to do is cross multiply here, and that gives us C sine of 65 degrees is equal to 10 sine of 35. So then we're going to divide both sides by the sine of 65. And that leaves us with C is equal to 10 sine of 35 divided by the sine of 65, and that gives us 6.3 for side C. Okay, next, number 36. We are given two sides and an angle. But since we don't know a side and an angle opposite that, like since we don't know angle A and side A, or angle B and side B, or angle C and side C, we have to use law of cosines. And we're going to use law of cosines, the one that starts with B squared. So we'll have B squared is equal to A squared, which is 23 squared, plus C squared, which is 20 squared, minus 2 times 23 times 20 times the cosine of 119. And that gives us, after you put all of this in your calculator, and we can go ahead and take the square root, so that just gives us B equals 37.1. Now, 37.1 is not our answer because 37.1 is just side B. We could switch to law of sines here to find angle A, but I'm going to continue with law of cosines. And since we're looking for angle A, I'm going to use the one that starts with A squared. So that's 23 squared is equal to 20 squared plus 37.1 squared minus 2 times 20 times 37.1 times cosine of A. Now, after we subtract 20 squared, subtract 37.1 squared, and divide by the product of negative 2, 20, and 37.1, then we have to take the cosine inverse of both sides, and we'll get the measure of angle A is equal to 32.8 degrees. Okay, on 38, since we're given three sides, here we have to use law of cosines. On 37, since we have an angle and a side opposite that, we can use law of sines here. Your homework is only 35 through 40, and your quiz is tomorrow, or on Friday. Tomorrow I want you to finish these and submit these to the review assignment on Schoology. This will be your last quiz. I will probably open it today or tomorrow early, just in case some of you guys want to go ahead and knock this out since it's a pretty short unit. Please let me know if you guys have any questions.